I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, then I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of
Welcome back to another episode, part 2 of our draft strategy episode, with the Legendary Sports Podcast, man. Fantasy Football Edition.
What
with
up,
Jared
what up?
Michelson.
I'm Antoine Beeks.
Yeah. So now we're going to go into my draft strategy.
Tell us all about these running backs. My biggest question for you right here is where and how do you get these guys?
For me, so if we're talking the non-first round running backs, I am all about the third round running back value. So because I'm never going to get, or second and third round running back value, because I'm never going to probably get Austin Eckler. I might get Saquon if I'm lucky, depending on my draft position. But for me, I'm looking for guys like Ramondre Stevenson, right? Owner of the backfield. That's the type of person I want on my team. I'm also looking for the Bijan Robinsons, of the world, who, again, he might be going in the first, so it might be tough to depending on where I get picked at, but or where I pick at. But then there's also people like Samaje Javante. Like, I like that combination because it's a handcuff, not a share. I'm good waiting until then to get some more running back at that time. And Javante goes in the 5th round. I'm cool getting that too. I'm cool loading up in those running backs in that the top tier ones in the first, but I'll exit out those. Ramondre in the 2nd, in the 5th, grabbing Javante over some of the receivers. Because then I can also handcuff later in around 8, 9 in Samaje, so I have that solidified, and I know that there's the if he goes down, I got the person I need, right? And now I don't have to go to the waiver wire. My thought is, if I can build this where I don't have to keep going to the waiver wire to try to find all these people, where I'm just like, you know what, my man went down, but guess what I already have.
So my question is, right? So when you got guys that share in the backfield, how do you know who to start? The guy who they say is the number one guy in the backfield?
Yeah.
Number one running
Travis
back?
Etienne. So Travis Etienne's probably a good situation because, he's sharing the backfield. I forget who the other gentleman on there. But they talk about
in just a second.
Yeah, I think they drafted somebody too that they're trying to share a backfield with. But when it's a shared backfield, and I don't usually draft the share back. I draft the guys who are the lead dogs, right? That's the ones I'm looking for. That's why I need to grab the early values of Ramondre and those type of people, because I don't want necessarily the shared ones. That's not the ones I'm really looking at. I'm looking at the guys who own it. I'm looking at the guys who will dominate that. Like when Breece Hall comes back, I want those guys. I want the guys that own that. That's why I want these guys early. I have to go get those guys as early as possible because they're the few and far between. There's tons of share. Remember, we talked about the 10, maybe 12 that are owned, but there's not. But there's way more that are the shared. So that's why I need to go and get these guys. Even Najee's gonna get a lot of work. Josh Jacobs could get a lot of work. Those guys are what I'm looking for. And so if I can pull those guys off, 2nd, 3rd round, I'm gonna do that because rounds 4, 5, 6, I can get some decent receivers. I can come back and I can go ahead and get Lockett. I can go ahead and get Yuke, Kirk. I can get Deontay. I can get guys there and later, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy. I'm fine with that because just like your first round top tier wide receiver talent, that's also few and far between to get those elite level of targets. I can get something great later. I think even DeAndre Hopkins, Drake London, these guys who are the number ones on their team who are going to get targets, they're going to get peppered later on as players later on in the draft. I don't need to aim for those top guys. I don't care about loading up on the top receivers or the best.
Let me say something. Trash. You just named up a whole bunch of trash receivers.
I named a whole bunch of opportunity.
Hey man, you trying to play on opportunity or are you trying to win?
Win with opportunities.
Man, listen, I'm going for certain. You named Deontay Johnson, right? Yeah.
Saquon's for certain. What are we talking about? Ramondre is going to be for certain. There's nobody else there. Najee's for certain. There's nobody's competing for him.
But then you started talking about these receivers that you think you're gonna get in the later rounds.
I'm gonna get him in the later rounds. There's tons of them. There's tons.
Brandon-
Devontae Smith, man.
He's man. In what round?
Let's see.
No.
Wait.
No. You
What
tell me
round do
where
I
you,
want?
where you think that you're gonna get Devontae Smith.
3-4.
You're gonna be looking at guys like George Pickens with Kenny Pickett throwing him the ball, and it's
I
gonna
like
be
George Pickens, actually.
Me too. But when you got Kenny Pickett throwing you the ball,
I don't mind Kenny Pickett.
hey, we got a special guest, guys.
Yes, we do.
What's up? Say what's up to the people. Look at the camera. Okay, you hungry? We'll take care of that in a second. Go hang out, all right? You got, George Pickens, right? Deontay Johnson, who we call Deontay Dropson because he drops a lot of balls, man.
Yeah, I didn't say his name. That's why I said George Pickens. But there's a reason why I didn't say it.
Okay.
There's a reason. So you can't be putting names in my mouth because I can go and get DJ Moore. I can go and get, again, like I said, Lockett. There's tons of other people there that I can just go and dive into. But here's what I would go through. So let's say let me go through my first. Let's say I'll go through 4 rounds here. So I can go Saquon. Let's say if I'm at the 6th spot,
let's just say this all is possible because anywhere in the first round, Saquon could fall depending on who
exactly.
drafted.
So
let's just go.
So then I would go Ramondre. Now I got 2 solid running backs who got the work. What are you going for? Talk to me.
Man, I like Ramondre Stevens.
Exactly.
But the second round.
Or Tony Pollard. Also owns a backfield. I'm not
worthy of a second round pick. I really don't think these guys are worthy of a second round pick.
So you think a receiver in the second round, let's say, now here's some of the second round receivers. We're looking at like Garrett Wilson, could be first, second. I'm gonna say second more. So Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave,
Amari
Cooper. I could get Amari Cooper stats later in those rounds. I can get Jerry Jeudy to give me Amari Cooper stats. I don't need to reach that far to do that. That's my point. I don't need to reach to the 3rd round to get something I can get in the 5th round. I can get Calvin Ridley at the end of the 3rd round, or I can go into Terry McLaurin into the 4th round and do that instead. And get similar stats by the end of the season versus burning that early where there's good running back talent where I can use that and use that for trade opportunity later on.
So you banking on Terry McLaurin? Terry McLaurin. Let me say this. He's a stud. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's got a young quarterback in Sam Howell. Don't get me wrong. Like Sam Howell's going to be. I agree with that.
Exactly my point.
But that doesn't. But there's so much. The problem is there's so much.
Michael Pittman. You gonna go and get Michael Pittman too?
Yeah, actually. But there's so much young talent that we don't know who's going to be the person to step up. Right? There's more young talent than there is OG talent out there right now.
So you telling me that you're a 0 wide receiver guy?
But that is. Yeah.
Because
or I can fill the void with just Mark Andrews to fill some gap too. Have a good tight end like you mentioned before. Maybe I'll switch him into the the first 2 would be Saquon, Ramondre. Try to get Mark Andrews in the 3rd, middle of the 3rd. He won't go to the 4th. I know I wish he would, but not with Lamar Howell. He won't go to the 4th. He'll be in the 3rd, and then I can get good receivers on top of that. Right? I can still get decent receivers outside of that.
So tell me. So go back. Hold on. Wait. Go back. So you. Oh man, this hurts. This hurts to hear you say this stuff, man. But
who are you gonna take? I'm asking you. Like you're banking on Amari Cooper to be the guy, because that's a second round guy.
But you're not picking him in the second round.
Exactly, because I don't need to waste that pick on Amari Cooper when I can go get that same later.
So you're gonna take Brandon Ayuk with Brock Purdy throwing him the ball?
Brock Purdy turned off more than anybody throwing Mark Cooper the ball. You know, with D-Watt.
Man, listen, D-Watt had a real shaky start last year because he wasn't able to train with the team. He wasn't able to practice with the team.
Brock Purdy was a 7th-round pick and still got him through the playoffs.
He practiced the whole season. That's just like me telling you to come in.
He practiced as the 3rd string the whole season. He's still running the plays. He still got Deshaun Watson's running the plays.
With who?
Amari Cooper, the guy you love so much.
No, he's not. Not last year when he stunk it up he was not allowed to be in the facility at all. He couldn't practice with those guys. He had the playbook and he had to go play and work out on his own. He wasn't even to be allowed to be in a facility.
The 3rd string's not even working with the guys who Brock Purdy was working with right. That's the point.
He's in the facility.
He's basically the same status.
Soon as Jimmy Garoppolo took over in week 7 what? It was early. It was like week 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, and when Trey went down early.
Okay.
Jimmy took over a bit, went down early, and then Brock Purdy, who was just basically the 7th-round pick, the Mr. Irrelevant, who basically is almost equal to Deshaun Watson, because he's not having any opportunity to work with the top tier guys. You gotta remember how it works when you're practicing. You're not practicing with those guys that you're going out there when you're the 3rd string.
But this isn't true. So tell me this here. So listen.
Hold on. Let me finish my thought quick.
Okay.
Because Brock Purdy didn't start until what, like week 8, 9? That means he didn't practice with the first team guys till that time.
But was he in the facility?
Looking at the playbook, the same that Deshaun Watson would be if he's not in the facility. All he's doing is sitting there in the playbook, working with the 3rd string people.
No, wait a second. No, it wasn't, because Trey Lance got hurt in week 2, week 1. The depth chart shifts when someone gets hurt and they're out.
Yeah.
So now he goes to 2,
but now
he's playing with those guys.
One goes to who? What's his name? Jimmy
Garoppolo. But he's still working with those guys that see some of the field. The 2s see some of the field. The 2s see some of the field, man. And then in an offense,
name some of the 2s on that. I dare you. Good talk.
I don't care about the 49ers that much, man. But listen,
some of the 2s you can't.
But listen, here they're run first, man. It's easy to look at a playbook and drop back and throw the ball to a screen pass.
They ain't gonna be run first if their highly touted draft pick is gonna be Trey Lance, and that they're gonna expect him to be the leader of the franchise. Just saying, you don't draft a top
I'd be
3
surprised if he was still.
You don't draft that.
No. Okay,
you don't draft high picks
let me just tell you this. So there's a pecking order, right, where you just try to point out that Mark Andrews was like 4th on the list, right?
I didn't say 4th on the
Lamar
list.
Jackson, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman, then Mark Andrews, and I'm just like,
there was no order there, but that was just me saying the names that are going to be getting targets.
Okay, so here you go. Here's the names that's going to be getting target. Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's going to get some.
Yep. Deebo Samuel.
He's more of a gadget guy.
George Kittle.
George Hill will demand targets. That's 100%.
Christian McCaffrey again?
Did
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk is known as the best receiver, pure receiver on that team right now. That's what's been talked about in camp. He is the guy and he was one of the guys that Brock Purdy was going to when they were playing. So keep that in mind. Even though Kittle was there, even though McCaffrey was there, Ayuk was a key talent in that run that they had. So because Kittle didn't top, people don't realize this. Kittle didn't top, I think it was like 50 yards, or it was like 55 yards a game. He didn't top 55 yards. Guess who was getting that? Ayuk was. He got a lot of touchdowns, but he wasn't getting the same quality of looks and targets because Ayuk was able to step up and play that role of number 1 receiver when it was needed.
I'm not banking on Brock Purdy throwing my ball to my receiver.
I'm not scared about it.
So now you're so here we're poking holes and you're naming off guys that got quarterback. You might as well go get Nico Hollins or whatever his name is from
Nico Collins
from Houston.
I might.
You got David Mills throwing the ball. You got Kenny Pickett. Oh, my bad.
Eat those words.
My bad. But still, you got
eat those words.
You got George Kenny Pickett throwing the ball. You got and then who do we just talk about? Sam Howell. You're naming all these guys where these quarterbacks ain't proved nothing. They ain't proved nothing.
But this is their time to.
Hey man, give me Jamar Chase where I know Joe Burrow is gonna put that thing
but that's
on him.
the first. Again, we know the first round guys. That's fine with me because I'm not. If I'm drafting at 6, I'm not getting those guys, right? So if I'm at 6, I'm not getting Joe Burrow. So I'm gonna go for a highly talented running back there. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I need someone who's talented who can fill that running back void. Then I can go and grab receivers 3, 4. Or Ramondre or whatever, or Tony Pollard, get that out of the way. Now I can focus on receiver because it's a PPR league. All I need you to catch the ball. I don't need touchdowns. I need you just to catch the ball. If you get 8 catches for 80 yards, that's great. I'll take a solid 16 points as a baseline. Sheesh. That's fine. If that's the baseline, that's fine.
These guys aren't putting up 15 points. 15 points.
15 points in a PPR? Yes.
I ain't putting up
8 for 70. that is like
8 for 70.
8 for 70 yards. That's nothing to these guys.
Man, no way. These guys are not putting up 8 for 70. No way. Jerry Jeudy did not.
You say he can't have a game that's 8 for. You say that's impossible for him to do.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not consistent. He didn't consistently do that all last year.
But you talked about Mark Andrews, you talk about all these people. There's no.
It's different for tight ends.
Okay, so let's go to receivers then. So what did Justin Jefferson do in the clutch games? Did he win you the championship?
Man,
what was his last game? Look at
that last game. Listen, I know what the last game was because he dog walked me the week before, and then the week that I needed him, the week following after I lost to go to the championship, he just lays an egg.
So what you're saying is your top tier talent laid you an egg.
So what did Saquon Barkley do? Did he win you the championship?
So,
what did he do when it was time?
Yeah, he didn't win me no championship. He did not win me no championship. I'll tell you that much. He did not win me a championship. I'll tell you that much. That's a fair statement. He did not win me a championship. But that goes to the point where like these top tier wide receivers also have up and downs because there is a number 2 there to take stuff away from them. So just like any team that has elite talent and a second piece, they aren't always going to have these great games that you think about. And a lot of the times these top tier receivers have big boom games. They're also a roller coaster. The reason that they're at the top is because their big games were just so big. That is why they have those top tier positions. It's not that they were more consistent by a per game basis. Now you got to see there's a difference between coming at the top with the most points and being consistent through the year. So if I can have people that are more consistent with a solid baseline through the year, I don't want to ride the roller coaster of you gave me 45 points and then you gave me 10. I don't need that.
So if you started naming guys that are number 2s that have great quarterbacks, I wouldn't be so sad, or I wouldn't be against it. But you're naming number 2s and some number 1s. George Pickens is the number 1 for Pittsburgh.
I didn't know Olave. Derek Carr's a good quarterback. No, he's not.
He stuck it out with Devontae Adams, man. He couldn't even win a game with Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Who cares about this? Is the point I'm trying to make. Who cares about winning the game? It's fantasy. We're talking about did Devontae Adams have a good fantasy season? Who cares about winning? I don't care about winning the game. This is what I told you before, garbage points. I will take garbage points. If a player gives me 50 points and they lose the game by 100, I don't care. I got 50 points from that player. It makes no difference. That does not matter.
Fair. You got me.
Yeah.
Fair. But I tell you this, though. I mean, I'm not banking on Derek Carr to throw my guy the ball, especially someone. Listen, especially someone like Chris Olave.
If Andy Dalton can do it, Derek Carr can do it.
Man, I can't bank on that, man. With Chris Olave, it's
Garrett
not
Wilson.
like Hey,
Jalen Waddle.
okay, there you go.
Devontae Smith.
But you're not naming those guys.
I did early on. I said those names.
Those guys are gone in the 3rd and 4th round.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that now.
No, they're not going to be in the 3rd and 4th round. If I'm going to be waiting to the 3rd and 4th, well, Calvin Ridley's my dude.
Okay. And here you go. You said to start it off.
Hopkins.
To start it off, you said that you're gonna go Saquon and then Ramondre Stevens.
Yep.
After that, man, you could kiss Devontae Smith.
That's okay. I'm okay kissing those guys goodbye. I'm okay kissing
Chris
those guys.
Olave.
I'm
Garrett
okay
Wilson, Jalen Waddle, because those guys are gone. Debo Samuel, Calvin Ridley may not even be there.
I'm okay with Jerry Jeudy. I'm okay with Calvin Ridley.
He might not be there. Maybe.
Depends on who's drafted in the 3rd, because you got to remember, a lot of people, because there's Lamar Jackson in the way, there's Patrick Mahomes. So, like to your point earlier, you said there's people who are quarterback people. I will bank on those people to take those positions in those early rounds, and that will leave me those other people.
That's fair. That's true as well.
So,
that's true. Yep. Because there are, like you said, just like I'm a receiver guy, you're a running back guy, and there's some guys who I've seen people pick Patrick Mahomes with the number 1 overall pick.
Exactly, or like Josh Allen at the top of the 2nd. So I will totally bank on that because I know that will push down those people that I do want and might be able to get later. If not, I'm okay with these other people with DJ Moore because it's a PPR league, and I keep that in mind all the time because all I need for you is get 8 catches for set. I don't need a ton from you. I don't need you to be the top crowd because your guy that your top tier wide receiver has his down week, which when they are down, they are trash.
But here's also the thing. You think you get these guys like to get 8 receptions for 70 yards, that means you have to have the ball thrown to you at least 10 times. You think DJ Moore?
I think DJ Moore could.
Drake London,
because
Deontay Johnson.
I never said his.
Okay.
I always pick Pickens over Johnson.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yes, for sure. He's a play after the catch guy for sure.
10 receptions.
No, 8 receptions.
You think he's gonna get? I'm saying to get 8 receptions, he's got to have at least 10 balls.
I use that as an example, but you can go 7 receptions for 80. You can flip whatever the script around. You can go, some of these guys who are big plays, big play guys, and everything that can go, 6 for 90. Pick the number that you want to flip around. But I think it's doable for a lot of these guys on a more consistent basis than you would probably think that it would be, given that these guys are A, the number ones in their system. B, they actually have some talent around them so they don't have to get doubled. And then they're going to scheme these guys open because they're the number one, the de facto number ones on their team. I'm cool with having de facto number ones on bad teams because there's always going to be still garbage opportunity. I don't need you to win. I don't need your team to be good. I don't need you to make the playoffs. I don't need any of that. You could play from behind. If your quarterback throws 52 times in a loss, I don't care. Those targets are going to those number 1 receivers.
That's fair. Nico Collins, I'm coming to get you, buddy.
I'm coming to get him too, man. Oh, so like some of my late round people like Romeo Doubs. I like Romeo Doubs. He's going way late, but I'll take that. He's going like round 13. Someone's got to catch the ball in Green Bay. It doesn't matter if they have a young quarterback or if they have growing pains or whatever the case may be. You gotta still play football. Even in garbage time, you gotta play football because even if they're just developing, let's say you get lucky and they're getting blown out and they start putting some backup people in there for the defense on the other team. That's perfect. Give me those points against those second people. That's fine.
So who do you have? Who do you have in a late round?
Oh, Mike Williams too. I always forget about Mike Williams. I always forget about that because I always skip him because of injury. But he's somebody that goes at 59, and who's throwing to him?
So give me 3 guys.
Yeah.
Give me 3 guys from each position that is a late round that sleeper. Give me a sleeper.
Oh, late round. So are we talking like 12 through 16?
Yep.
Gus Edwards.
That's a good one.
Yep. Gus Edwards. Clyde. Because Pacheco's got injury going on right now.
Well, Clyde has been injured too.
Clyde has been injured, but he's not injured right now. So I can't go off what he has. I have to go with where is his status today, right? What's his status right now? If he's available, He makes that list, right? So another one is Romeo Dubs. I already gave that one away. A weird one is Van Jefferson. I know we talked about the hating of the Rams, but
Stay away.
somebody's got to catch some passes somewhere.
Stay away.
I'm saying Van Jefferson. There's some opportunity there. Again, whether it's garbage time or development, they're going to be throwing. They're going to be doing their thing. Another one that's like mid is Odell Beckham. Somebody's got to be the guy there. I don't know what his house status will be, but I like what that potential is there with Lamar Jackson, and they're getting that work in, and they're talking about how in camp that he's the guy, he's the voice, he's the leader, he's moving more fluid, he's looking better from his ACL tear, all that kind of stuff. So those are some of the people that I'm looking at late. And then for tight end, it's like Greg Dulcich for Denver.
Okay.
Because there is not a lot of talent there. They lost KJ Hamler and Tim. I forget the
Tim Patrick.
Yep, Tim Patrick. So they lost guys like that, right? So there's not a lot left for them for opportunity.
Okay. Just real quick, man. Some of the pieces that I would say that can go kind of late that you should look for. Corey Davis, man. He hasn't had anybody throwing him the ball. With Garrett Wilson stepping up and being number one, Aaron Rodgers there. Marvin Jones back to Detroit. Sleeper, man. He had a really good year last year for the Jags.
Actually, that's okay. I actually don't hate that because Jared Goff is better than people think. He's not great, but he's Derek Carr, at least. He's at least been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's at least Derek Carr.
Yeah. So
I don't hate that one.
I think Marvin Jones is gonna be all right.
He'll probably be like a 700-yard guy, but maybe 800 by the end of the season. But that's fine for some.
Another one that people are kind of sleep on, man. Mac Hollins, bro. Look for Mac Hollins to
we talked about that
man.
before. Yep.
He's in Atlanta now. Drake London is still kind of shaky on being that number one guy. They got it. They gave it to him, but
Marcus Mariota, I don't think was any better than Ritter. I think Ritter.
Hey, I'm just looking for Mac Hollins, man. I think he's a big target. I think he's gonna do some things. And last but not least, man, who steps up with Adam Thielen is gone. KJ Osborne has had some pretty decent seasons. He's been showing flashes. I think KJ Osborne, man, late is he's gonna come on.
You don't. Is KJ still with the Vikes?
He's still with the Vikings.
You don't think the rookie is gonna kind of overshadow?
I think it's his turn, man. I think he's been in the system enough. I think
know
he's done some things.
Who wasn't? I feel like they drafted him pretty early though, didn't they? If I'm correct.
I'm not sure, but I will tell you this, man. This time be flying.
It does.
The time be flying.
It does.
Guys, stay in tune with us. We love to have you.
Yeah, we like to go back and forth, poke holes at each other's strategies and everything. Our guest star is back around. What's happening, Trey? Hello.
Man.
We appreciate this.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. This is fun to be able to go in, go back and forth. Give you guys a little insights into our brains and just banter back and forth. Hopefully, get your guys' brains going too on, what you guys think about different strategies, RBs, zero RB, wide receivers, early, whatever the case may be, man. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us while we talk craziness to each other, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, guys, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave comments. Let us know what you guys think. You guys can follow us also on Instagram, legendary_sports podcast, and we'll be back with another one.
Later.
Peace.